Tomorrow morning, when the prison clock strikes 9, Otto Dietrich Zerlinde will be executed. He sits in his cell, waiting for the end. His personal world has already been erased. His brother died fighting in the Egyptian sands, and Allied bombs have leveled his home and laboratory. The empire he served has met the same fate. The Third Reich lies in ruins, completely dismantled and occupied by its enemies. Logically, a man in this position should feel terror, or a profound sense of regret. Instead, Zerlinde looks at the ashes of his life and tastes an unexpected, terrible flavor of happiness. He seeks no pardon. He readily admits to the tribunal that he is a torturer and murderer, believing the court acted justly in condemning him. Zerlinde doesn't view his case as a unique anomaly, but as a blueprint. He calls himself a symbol of the generations to come, a man who has traded his own empathy for the cold certainty of an ideology that finds happiness in total ruin. The path to that prison cell began years earlier. In his youth, Zerlinde abandoned traditional Christian theology, searching for a different way to explain human suffering. He found his answer in the determinism of Arthur Schopenhauer. This philosophy suggests that everything that happens to a person, from birth to death, has been subconsciously preordained by them. Under this logic, every accident is deliberate, and every humiliation is a chosen penance. In 1939, Zerlinde was shot in the leg during a street disturbance, leading to an amputation. Rather than view this as a tragic misfortune, he applied his new philosophy and convinced himself he had deliberately sought the bullets out. He reasoned that dying as a soldier on a battlefield was an easy, common path to glory. He subconsciously mutilated himself so he could take on a much darker, agonizing burden, becoming subdirector of the Tarnowitz concentration camp. For him, the Nazi project was a severe moral purging of a corrupted world. This was a task so brutal it required its architects to embrace intense personal suffering to carry it out. The ultimate test of this brutal worldview arrived in the form of an inmate named David Jerusalem. He was a Jewish poet whose works celebrated the universe with a scrupulous, exacting love. Zerlinde did not hate him. In fact, he admired Jerusalem's genius and felt a deep, agonizing compassion for the man. But his ideology taught that mercy was not a virtue, it was a sin. To him, the tender impulses of the heart were simply obstacles that needed to be dismantled through force. So he applied a relentless disciplinary regimen specifically designed to drive Jerusalem mad. He systematically tortured the poet until he committed suicide, doing it entirely to destroy his own capacity to feel pity. True totalitarian fanaticism demands this kind of sacrifice. Before a person can dedicate themselves to destroying others, they must deliberately execute their own humanity. As the gallows are prepared outside his cell, the question remains, why does the total military defeat of his own nation fill him with such genuine joy? He finally understood his leader's actual objective. The architect of this conflict thought to reshape the world itself rather than secure a prosperous German state. Zerlinde believed humanity was paralyzed by the sickness of Judeo-Christian timidity. The goal was to cure that hesitation by teaching the world the faith of the sword. This chart visualizes how ideological contagion works. When a deeply aggressive force attacks, the peaceful entities surrounding it cannot survive by remaining passive. They have to adopt the exact same ruthless violence they are trying to defeat. To crush the Third Reich, the surrounding nations were forced to become the hammer to Germany's anvil. In the process, they were forced to reshape their own nature to match their enemy. Under this terrifying logic, Germany willingly fashioned itself into a sacrificial labyrinth. Its only purpose was to trap the rest of humanity inside, forcing them to learn how to kill without mercy. Extremist ideologies do not care about conventional defeat. If their true objective is to normalize violence and eradicate compassion, then even as they face execution and their cities turn to ash, they see themselves as the victors.